Fourth and final day of Carrie and Paris, so let's go. First thing that we did today was go to the Louvre Museum. I don't love museums, but I did want to do the Louvre. I feel like it's kind of like Versailles. You have to do it at least once, and I definitely wanted to see the Mona Lisa and some of the other things, so that was definitely worth the trip for me. I will say it was way cooler than I thought it was going to be. I thought that I was going to be a little bit bored, and I don't mean this in a bad way. I just don't love museums, and I thought that I was only going to want to see like the big things like the Mona Lisa, things like that, but it was still super cool. I loved seeing like the history of like the Egyptians and the Greeks, stuff like that. I actually had a great time. So if you don't love museums and you're worried that you're not going to really like the Louvre, this is your sign to just go and do it, because it's something that I think you need to do at least once. We ended up spending about 3 hours here, and I think that was the perfect amount of time. We actually saw majority of like the main attractions, and we got through pretty quickly. Honestly, I was surprised, and it was honestly a great time. We also went around like 1:30, and it wasn't too busy. After the Louvre, we went to Angelina's, which was right by there, and got the famous hot chocolate. I've seen this all over TikTok, and I was like, I have to get this. I absolutely love chocolate and love hot chocolate, and it definitely lived up to the hype, but I will say it's way thicker than I thought it was gonna be, but I did like that. The one thing that stunk is that it's hot in Paris right now, so I was like, do I really want to drink hot chocolate when it's hot outside? And the answer is yes, of course. I did want to get it. It was just kind of hot out. So we got the hot chocolate, we got some food. I got a croque madame, and that was absolutely amazing. We also got this dessert. This is like Angelina's famous dessert, and I didn't really like it. I don't know, the taste and like texture wasn't really it for me. I'm not usually weird with textures, but this one I just didn't really like. But other than that, our experience was so good there. After Angelina's, we wanted to walk around and hit the rest of the monuments and things that we didn't see before. One thing to know is that you should bring a water bottle with you, because you're gonna want to drink it because it's really hot. There are refill stations all around Paris. If you Google Eau de Paris, which is EAUDE Paris, it'll show all of the drinking fountains around Paris. That way you can refill your water bottle. We also went and got a crepe because we hadn't gotten one yet in Paris, so my boyfriend got this banana and Nutella crepe. This place was amazing. It had like 3,500 reviews on Google, so we went and checked this out, and it definitely lived up to the hype. Another thing that I wanted to do in Paris that was a must for me was getting just a baguette to eat around the streets of Paris. I was like, I have to do this, and it was so worth it. It was so good, and the baguettes are so cheap. They're literally all less than €1. After that, we walked to the Luxembourg Gardens. It was actually closing as we got there, but we still got to see it and just sit down for a little bit. It was just absolutely beautiful. There's not a part of Paris that I haven't loved so far. I'm so bummed that this is our last night in Paris, but we had such a great trip here, and I'm honestly so excited for the rest of our trip. We go to Santorini in the morning, so we're actually changing hotels tonight. We're going to stay at a Hyatt hotel closer to the airport because it was really cheap. It was 3,500 Hyatt points that we transferred from Chase, and so that's literally $35. So we're off to bed and leaving for Santorini at 6 a.m.